Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, and good day to you all. My name is Jay Bansal. I'm a volunteer with the Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America, also known as VHPA. I currently serve as the Vice President of Education with VHPA. I'm also deeply proud to be one of the founding members of the group that started the movement that we are celebrating today, the Hindu Heritage Month. In 2021, a bunch of us in VHPA came up with the idea to recognize the month of October as the Hindu Heritage Month. I also had the great privilege to be part of the formulating the framework for how this movement will be conducted and carried forward year after year. While VHPA is the founding organization and kicks off the month-long celebration at the beginning of October every year with an inaugural program, we understood from the very beginning that Hindu Heritage Month cannot and does not belong to VHPA alone. It is indeed a community-wide celebration of their shared heritage. As such, we designed it in such a way that each and every organization, and indeed every individual of the Hindu community at large, feels complete ownership of the movement and celebrates it in their own unique way. That pivotal decision has stood the test of time. Hindu Heritage Month is now celebrated by hundreds of organizations and individuals, not only in the United States, but also in many countries around the world. And in my humble capacity as the global coordinator for this movement, I cannot be happier for the path this movement has taken. Over the course of these 4 years, starting in 2021, many states in the Union and also many cities have issued formal proclamations to declare October as Hindu Heritage Month. Such proclamations were specific to the year in which they were issued, and they expired at the end of that particular year. However, a handful of the states have also passed formal resolutions in the state legislatures to declare October as Hindu Heritage Month in perpetuity. Virginia was the first state to do that. New Jersey did it in 2023. Today, we are immensely proud to note that the great state of Ohio has just passed a resolution to do exactly the same thing. The resolution is now waiting for the signature of Honorable Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, before it becomes official. So I'm also very pleased to note that today I'm joined by the one person without whose efforts this would not have been possible. I'm of course talking about none other than Honorable Niraj Antani ji, the young state senator from Ohio, who has been the driving force behind this resolution. So Senator Niraj Antani ji, a very, very warm welcome to you.
Well, thank you, Doctor, very much for having me.
And of course, many, many thanks to you, not just from me, but from the Hindu community at large for bringing us to this happy juncture. So it would not be an exaggeration to say that Senator Antani is a trailblazer in the true sense of the word. Firstly, at the ripe young age of 33, he has already served 3 terms as the elected representative, actually 3.5 terms if I'm not mistaken, as the elected representative in the Ohio legislature. Not only that, in 2014, at the age of 23, he became the youngest person to be elected for any legislative body in the country. However, Hindu community should be justifiably proud of the fact that Niraj ji is a proud Hindu, takes immense pride in his rich heritage, and unlike many other Hindu elected representatives, does not hide his Hindu identity in the political arena. He is a shining example to show that you do not have to disown your cultural identity to succeed in public service area. So with that, Niraj ji, again, a very warm welcome and kudos to you for just being who you are and how you conduct yourself in public life.
Thank you.
So let me, begin with the question that brought us here today. You have been championing this resolution to declare October as Hindu Heritage Month in Ohio for quite some time. Now, thanks to you, we are at this happy juncture where it's becoming a reality. Now, as I understand, both the houses actually gave their unanimous consent to this resolution. So, of course, it's a great day for the Hindu community, Hindu American community at large, but also I'm sure, you feel immensely proud to have brought this to this point. Can you share a little bit about the journey and the hard work that went behind the scenes to get us to this point?
Yes, well, thank you, Dr. Bansal, for having me and for everything you and VHPA does. I'm very proud to be the first Indian American and Hindu American state senator in Ohio history and the youngest Hindu and Indian American state or federal elected official in the country. And honestly, on this initiative, it was not my idea. It was VHPA's idea. Without VHPA, this would not have happened. 100% credit goes to VHPA nationally and to VHPA activists in Ohio for developing this idea, for coming to me and asking me to introduce this bill. And so, credit definitely goes to VHPA. One thing I do want to say is, different states do this differently. You rightfully said a lot of these resolutions and proclamations expire year to year, but this is actually a bill. It is not a proclamation or resolution. If the governor signs this now, it will go into Ohio law. The same Ohio law that criminalizes murder, the same Ohio law that has our tax code that taxes Ohioans, the same Ohio law that has our regulatory structure for businesses and industry. It will be a part of that same law. And so this will be a law that will be on the books for the rest of history, unless it is at one point repealed, by the General Assembly. So we're very, very excited about this. But yes, we had introduced this bill now over a year and a half ago. This was our last session before we end this General Assembly and begin a new one. And, at the end of every 2-year period, every bill has to start over completely. And so, we're very excited. It was actually done through an amendment. I was able to attach an amendment to another bill, regarding something else that, was passing and was able to get the amendment done. And both chambers, like you said, voted for it unanimously. And now it goes to the governor for his signature or veto. And I have no reason to think that he will not sign it. I feel, very confident that he will.
Thank you so much. And thank you for explaining that it is actually a formal bill and just like any other bill in the state of Ohio. That's great to know. So Niraj, I want to take you actually back 5 years to November 2019 when we were organizing the Threads 2019 conference in Boston.
Yes.
And you participated as one of the panelists on the panel. And remember we were celebrating the community being here for about 50 years in this country. As you know, we are one of the youngest immigrant community in this country. We started coming here after the Immigration Act of 1965. So that makes us, about 60 years old. When you look at the progress, our community has made, it's just absolutely astounding, positively astounding. And not just progress, but also the contribution it has made to the society at large. I mean, we are about 1% of the US population, and yet we are contributing 5% of the United States GDP. We 7 to 8% representation in the medical profession, and a huge role in the IT industry. I think that's obvious to everyone. Our initiatives are fueling the information-based economy of the 21st century. And so on and so forth. I mean, many accomplishments to celebrate. And of course, now we're starting to make inroads into the public service arena as well, with you as one of the shining examples. And there are, of course, many other prominent personalities from your own state, which I'll come to in a minute. So, with that kind of outsized contribution for a young, community like ours, don't you think it's time for other states to follow in Ohio's footsteps and pass similar resolutions to recognize, our contributions? And of course, eventually, we would hope the U.S. Congress would do the same as well. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, we're very excited that this will be recognizing Hindu Heritage Month and give us the ability to, celebrate that here in Ohio. And look, we wish Congress did more. I think there's a lot Congress can do, and we want, and we're doing this in Ohio too. We'll have another announcement next week about something, very exciting. But we wish Congress did more. We wish Congress would hold the government of Pakistan accountable for killing Hindus. We wish they would hold Muhammad Yunus accountable right now in Bangladesh for the persecution of Hindus. And so, look, we wish Congress did more. Congress clearly is not doing that. And so, we will do it in the states if we have to.
Yeah, thank you, Neeraj, for bringing those points up because we are, of course, very, very sad at how not only the Congress but also how media is treating these genocides that are taking place in that part of the world. But let me come to another interesting observation, and that is about I think we would be remiss if we did not talk about the other trailblazers from your great state who've recently taken the center stage in our country. And of course, I'm talking about, the Vice President-elect J.D. Vance and of course, Vivek Ramaswamy. You must be really proud to belong to the state that has given us these great leaders to the nation. Your comments on that?
Well, we're really excited for JD's wife, Usha Vance, who will become the second lady of Ohio. To have a Hindu Indian American second lady is just tremendous. And, there are so many appointees that President Trump has already appointed. Former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, the first Hindu member of Congress ever, will be the Director of National Intelligence. Kash Patel, a good Gujarati Hindu, as a Gujarati myself, who will become the Director of the FBI. And so, I'm excited for Kash. I'm excited for Tulsi. I'm excited for, my friend JD and his wife Usha. And, I think there will be, more to come.
I just wanted to turn our conversation to, the Hindu community as voters. First thing I want to observe is, that good things happen when they elect, leaders like yourself who are proud of their heritage and are willing to, own their heritage in public service. But that brings me to two questions. The first one is that, what would you say about the wisdom of the Hindu community for electing representatives who are always working against the Hindu interests?
Yeah.
And you know what? I won't name names, but I think and everyone knows who we're talking. The groups of people that we're talking about. That's one question. And the second question is, Neeraj, our community is actually very strangely has a very low voter turnout. So I just like your thoughts on those two points.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, if you are an Indian American or Hindu American, but you are acting against the interests of other Hindu Americans or Hindus across the world, or the U.S.-India relationship, you don't count. It is not enough to just have brown skin and an Indian name, okay? You actually have to do things for our community. And I think that is incredibly important. And I think we as a community, I think we've started, but we need to be more discerning in who we support, when they are running, and to hold their, feet to account if they win, to actually stand for the community. And so I think that is incredibly important. As far as voting goes, look, first an immigrant community survives, then they thrive, then they get involved in the civic life of America. And, that's where we are right now, is getting involved in that civic life.
I hope you're right. I hope, Hindu American community, takes these words to heart, and over time they become more and more involved in the civic life, as you say, because voting is absolutely crucial for community to have any representation at at various levels. So, finally, I'm so glad that you were actually championing the bill for October to be declared as Hindu Heritage Month, and not some other variant of the moniker that some organizations have been promoting. It really pains me to see that, for reasons that are unknown to me, and it sounds like self-interest, some of these organizations are effectively trying to dilute the Hindu Heritage Month brand. Any words of advice to these organizations?
I actually I don't know that I'm aware about this. Can you tell me what the dilution is?
Yeah, they add words like appreciation and so on and so forth. To Hindu Heritage Month. What is powerful, to have is a single brand where everyone falls behind that brand and promotes that brand by that name. Once you start creating variations, people get confused. And over time, it just loses its value. So,
well, look, I think you're right. And I think too often our community lets ourselves be diluted. There is no such thing as South Asia. There's the Indian subcontinent, right? Things like that happen all the time. And, we have to stop allowing ourselves to, get diluted.
Thank you so much. So Neeraj, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for the great work you do, and please keep on doing it. Hindu American community is anxious to see you as the representative on the national stage.
Thank you.
Our best wishes are with you and your family. Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Jai Shri Ram.